Hello everybody, and welcome back to Styx. Today, as always, we got some work to do. Now, I'm kind of a little bit in the future from where the present episode is about to take place. I was doing a little bit of exploration, and in that clip you just saw, I actually defeated the wolf boss, which gives you an achievement for defeating the wolf boss on hard mode. So just doing a little bit of exploration out here in the Arctic. Today's episode is basically going to be focusing on completing a few really important missions. One of them basically being only accessible through the Arctic region. So I started the episode off in this little Arctic region. If we take a look at the map, you can see I've opened up this entire side of the map, and this Arctic region right here is where we will be starting off the episode today. It was a little bit of a journey to get through this area, which I will tell you about, but essentially I wanted to come through this region, complete the very first mission here on Styx, which required us to go to 3 different places to place down beacons, and then we completed a second mission which opened up the tunnel, allowing us access to the grasslands straight from the desert. So we are opening up our map. We are really starting to take off on our adventure here on Styx. I hope you guys are looking forward to the episode and all of the work we get done today. And with that said, I will leave it with Danny from the past. Enjoy, and I will see you guys at the end of the episode. So in order to prepare for a journey out into the Arctic zone, I went ahead and crafted up 2 thermoses here. We're going to use this for some hot tea and cocoa to make sure that we can stay warm out in the freezing cold tundra area. And of course that meant that we were going to need to grow some coffee and tea, so I went ahead and replaced a few of my plants here. We were only going to need a couple harvests to have a pretty decent supply, so just grow 4 of those for now, and then we'll replant the other seeds to get the growth bonus on those as well. And of course, I also prepared the materials that we're going to need for our first 2 electric deep drills here. This is going to be a huge leap in progress for us. It's going to cost a decent amount of resources, but with these 2 drills working for us, thanks to the power of our new solar panels, we are ready to start rocking with the resources. So my plan right now is I'm actually going to stick one of these drills on silica, and then the other drill I'm going to put on the titanium node, and then I'll have my 2 biofuel drills working on copper and gold for the time being. So that is the plan for right now. I just want to start getting a ton of silica because I want to start planning on getting our base upgraded into concrete as soon as possible. So I'm going to go ahead, head over to the cave where I spotted that deep silica node, and get our drill up and running. I went ahead and placed my first electric drill on the titanium here, got that up and running, and then continued towards the cave with the silica. And just like that, we had our silica mining. We were going to be getting 2.8 per minute. Thanks to a recent buff that deep mining also received, so we were set up to get a ton of silica thanks to that, and we were definitely going to need it. You know, we are planning on making a pretty significantly sized base out of concrete, so we're going to need that silica. We're going to need a ton of iron and coal to make steel as well, so we had our work cut out for us, but I felt really good about getting that set up, and went ahead and moved our biofuel drills over to the copper and gold nodes over on the other side. What is that? Crocodile. And with that crocodile spawning right basically inside of our base, I also figured it was about time we got to work making ourselves a creature deterrent as well. As far as power goes, you know, with both of those drills going, you know, we were still looking at a massive surplus of power, so we were definitely okay to have that electric creature deterrent going. At nighttime, we would be sort of suffering for power, but the reason I have that drill on the titanium over there is so we can get to work on producing batteries as quickly as possible, so we won't have to worry about nighttime power nearly as much. Thank you to Infinity Gaming for this tip, but apparently, if you craft a dirt foundation, which I have not done before, you can actually infinitely get dirt from the dirt foundation itself. So let's go ahead and craft up a dirt foundation here. And if we place the dirt foundation, I'm just going to place it over here for now. Whip out our shovel. And if we stand on top of the dirt foundation, wouldn't you know, we can get infinite dirt from the dirt foundation. That is absolutely awesome. And if we're done with the dirt foundation, we can just deconstruct it and bring it back into our base as little chunks of dirt rain down all over the place. And at long last, headed on over to the area with the gold and the copper nodes. Got the second biofuel drill set up in the gold node right here. And then made sure to refuel our copper drill over here as well. So I just got all the materials we needed for the powered creature deterrent, so I'm going to go ahead and craft that up. It's going to take a decent chunk of electronics here, but I think it's going to be worth it. As far as positioning goes, I'm not exactly sure where maybe the best place to be is, like if we should do it on one of the shores or next to our base, kind of in the middle here. I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it right here next to the Moa pen, just sort of right there for now. It's going to take 1500 power, but that's not a problem. Let's go ahead and get that hooked up. Now the wiring is absolutely a mess in the starter base right now. I didn't go too crazy about sort of setting it up for the wiring underneath, because we're going to be completely just deconstructing this thing and making concrete foundations. I have an idea of what kind of building I want to make, so it's going to involve basically just completely deconstructing this thing, so I'm not really concerning myself with the wires right now. Let's get this thing hooked up. And you know, once we have all of the silica that we're going to need and all of the stone, then I will work on making a little bit better of a wiring system. But for the time being, we're just going to have them on the ground like this. Here is our creature deterrent range. It is very large, very nice. I do think kind of having it centrally located right here is the way to go. That way it blocks the spawns on both shorelines, as well as sort of down on this little island next to us. So, you know, we have a few last spawns to contend with, it looks like, but hopefully from now on we won't have to be too concerned about constant animal spawns. And I'm not sure if this was always the case, but when I'm inside the range of my creature deterrent, my compass turns yellow now, which is interesting. So if we go outside of the range of it, yep, the compass is no longer yellow. It actually shows up as a map marker now as well. I don't know if that's an intended change or if that's a glitch. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess it is kind of nice to know where your base is, but if you're doing a mission that has like a zone that you need to find, I'm not sure if I like having multiple zone markers on the map, but that's an interesting new change. And at long last, I am finally preparing to start taking on some missions here. So I'm going to go ahead and craft up the contact device here. Let's go ahead and get that set up and look into what we can do as far as our very first missions here on Styx. Alright, so it seems like here on Styx, there really isn't much we can do as far as operations go without at least having the encoded signal, and then of course the encrypted satellite, which both of those are going to take a lot of resources. The encrypted satellite is going to take a ton of titanium to craft, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so we have a grind to go as far as getting our missions going. But let's take a look at the first upgrade, the relay. This is pretty simple to craft here. I definitely have these resources, so I'm going to get the relay crafted up here. Alright, let's get this infrasonic relay set up here. Very nice, and take a look at our operations. So we do have access now to Ricochet Expedition with just the relay. However, it does look like in order to actually progress into these missions, I do need to actually complete the first missions here. This expedition here, this is the mission that I was using to level my secondary character up to level 30 initially. So I do have some progress on this mission in mission mode. The problem about trying to do this in open world right now, let's take a look at the map here, is, as I mentioned in my previous video, so as you can see, this is the exploration I did when I was doing it on my secondary character. You need to place a radar here, somewhere down here, and somewhere over here. 3 radars to complete that first mission. But I cannot get out of the desert into the grasslands until I actually complete Ricochet Expedition. So I'm pretty much locked into this biome. I can't exit through this tunnel until I complete Ricochet Expedition. There's also a giant rock wall blocking off the Ring Lake area until you complete another expedition. However, I do think we might be able to exit through the Arctic biome and then sort of loop our way all the way out into the grasslands over here. So completing that first mission in open world is going to be a pretty big adventure. We're going to have to do a lot of preparation before we can really start tackling the missions here. We're going to have to go all the way through the Arctic biome in order to get to the necessary areas for here. Fortunately, the exploration missions are automatically unlocked in open world. So once we complete this mission, we should be able to instantly do Ricochet Expedition as well. And then work on all of our Oasis quests over here. I think that's the plan. Is the first missions I want to complete are all of the quests out in our little Oasis biome over here. There's a really nice quest. I think it's this one. It's a fishing related quest. And this, or maybe it's this one. One of these two is a fishing quest, and there is a piece of gear that you can call down in the fishing quest that is essentially a deep freeze with a extremely large inventory that takes 0 electricity. It's just a chest with a massive inventory that has 0 item spoiling in it, and technically you can sort of call down an infinite number of those if you continuously reset the mission up and work up into the point where you get that item from the quest. So I think that's kind of my initial goal is, you know, we don't even need to make deep freezes on Styx if you abuse that quest, so we will be able to get an infinite number of free deep freezes doing that quest. That is my initial goal here. But we're going to need the encrypted satellite, and we're going to need to complete the first Ricochet Expedition and the very first mission here. So let's get to work on doing everything we need to get those first couple missions knocked out. So I do have a good amount of tea and coffee growing here. We're going to go ahead and harvest all of this up, get ourselves a decent amount of coffee and tea here. Let's see how much we get. We get 19. So this should be more than enough to at least craft 1 or 2 bottles of coffee and tea. So very nice there. Maybe we'll get 1 more harvest out of it. But for the time being, that should be enough for our first batches. So let me go ahead, whip out the thermoses here. We crafted these 2 thermoses, and with the thermos and the tea, so tea takes 30 leaves and coffee takes 40, so we can make 1 coffee and 1 tea. We're also going to need a container filled with water. Unfortunately, I haven't made the water filtration system out here yet. I do have this basic rainwater filter right here, so I could just make some coffee and tea out of basic filtered water here. However, since, you know, we're in tier 4 already, I think let's go ahead and try and get ourselves a real water filtration system to set up. That's going to involve actually getting water to the base as well here. We don't have a water system set up either. So I do think I want to go for the water borer as usual. I love that item. Super convenient. We have everything that we need to craft up the water borer. We already have a water pipe tool crafted as well here. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a water borer set up, and then we are going to need The water purifier, which is 2 more plates. Again, we have more than enough materials for the water purifier as well. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a borer set up. All right, there is our water borer. And there is our water purifier. So we are set up. This is going to be super nice for us. Let's go ahead and start working on dragging a 20-mile long water pipe tool all the way out to the geyser. The geyser is over here, I believe. I did spot that a little while ago. So we have a wire going into the silica cave over here. So I think I'm just going to grab that wire, bring it all the way down, hook up the water borer, and then drag the pipe all the way back to our base. Let's get to work. And on second thought, I think it actually might be quicker to do the piping first. So how I think I want to do this is I'm going to drag the water pipe through the waterfall here. And we'll have, when we have our base set up kind of right in this area, you know, we will need to figure out what to do with the water pipe. But for the time being, I think I'm going to try and just keep it kind of hidden in the water. So I'm going to go ahead and swim down this waterfall. Oh, or just fall down the waterfall. Keep it hidden in the water here. And drag this all the way over. Once it's outside of our base, I don't really mind as much, but I do kind of want to keep it, the area around our base, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So let's try and keep it hidden until we get down to maybe this waterfall, and then we can just sort of drag it on the ground on over to the geyser. And there she blows right over there. Pretty far away, but it's gonna be worth it. You know, 1,000 power for 2,000 water. It's a deal you can't pass up. And there we go. All hooked up. Very nice. Now let's go ahead and get the electricity over to the area with the silica cave. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a puck there and then attach this. Check it. It does seem like our water borer is hooked up, so we are ready to go here. Let's head on back to the base and get our water purifier hooked up. Alright, here is our water purifier. Let's get that thing just stuck down over here by the door, a little bit out of the way. Alright, there's our water purifier right there. Let's get that hooked up to electricity. Very nice. And then let's go ahead and get our water hooked up as well here. Double check. Doesn't look like that's hooked up to the water borer. Okay, it looks like this maybe is where things got... Okay, so for whatever reason this section of pipe just disappeared. Let's go ahead and get that hooked up. And there we go, water purifier hooked up. Not sure what happened to that one section of pipe. Maybe I right-clicked on accident at one point. But with that taken care of, we are officially hooked up to water all the way back at the base. 1,000 power, 2,000 water. Absolutely awesome. Alright, we are back at the base. Big, ugly water pipe sticking out of the rock here. We're definitely have to figure out a solution to that once we make our permanent base. But with that taken care of, let's give it a test run here. Alright, we have beautiful purified water coming into our canteen. Let's go ahead and get both of our thermoses filled up with purified water as well here. And with that taken care of, we're going to officially be able to brew ourselves some delicious, delicious tea. Alright. Get our thermos and our tea leaves in there, and in 1 minute we will have ourselves a thermos full of hot tea, and then we'll also make some hot coffee as well. That way we'll be able to stay nice and warm out in the Arctic region. Yeah, even if a storm should blow through, we'll be able to stack both of those heat modifiers on our character. Very nice. And also with that water network finally taken care of, I'm going to be able to hook up our MOA's water trough to water, so we no longer have to manually fill that thing up. That is absolutely awesome. Excellent. And it acts as a nice 1,500 liter storage unit as well, so if our electricity ever cuts off to the water borer, we will have some water storage coming from the MOA's trough as well. Alright, we have ourselves the hot tea. Now we are just going to craft up some hot coffee and we'll be good to go. And as we're prepared for our mission here, I decided to go ahead and craft up some new offensive options, so I went ahead and made the compound bow on the crafting character using the last few composites that we have here, and then also went to make ourselves a titanium knife. So with all of our basic preparation taken care of here, I went ahead and made some seed feeds for our MOA, and let's go ahead and accept our first operation here, our expedition mission.
That the Lagos chair has declared this area safe for prospecting. Seems kinda odd, seeing as it's been tagged a red site since that incident with the ACS. Just between us, I get the feeling that Lagos is itching to expand the entire ICARUS operation. Can't think of anything else that would have them open this place back up. Anyway, the UDA needs someone to survey new landing zones. Think you're up for it?
Let's do it. Here comes our drop pod. This should be our beacon. Alright, there's our 3 beacons.
Time to find some lovely spots for landing a dropship. Oh, the UDA also requires you to clear the immediate area. Did I forget to mention that?
So you guys are very familiar with the first drop, the first area for the drop pods. Right here is where that infinite Komodos spawn, so we'll definitely be heading over there. And then we'll also have to venture out to those 2 areas here and here as well. Get a little exploration done. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wait until the end of this day. Let's make sure we get all of the chores that we can taken care of around the base. Maybe do a little bit more mining for some iron and such. And then first thing in the morning, I'm going to hop on the MOA, give him one of our brand new seed feeds, and let's head out to the Arctic zone and work on circumnavigating the globe all the way to get back into our grasslands area here, and then we'll be able to take care of our mission. And of course, one of the other things that you can do in these open world missions, as always, is request a resupply. And that way you can get just a ton of free beacons. I'm going to go ahead and request a few resupplies here while we wait for today to finish up. And let's just get ourselves a ton of free beacons. That way we can have all the beacons we'll possibly need. Alright, so first thing in the morning, I hopped on my MOA and started heading over to the Arctic area. The thing about the connecting tunnel from the desert into the Arctic is that there is a sheer ice cliff that you need to scale, so I brought a bunch of ramps so we can take care of that. But in order to kind of avoid the annoyance of having to scale that sheer cliff again on the way back, I actually brought the contact device and the infrasonic relay, as well as this can of biofuel. That way we can hopefully complete the Ricochet expedition as well while we're on the other side. So as soon as we complete this first mission, I'm going to drop that relay down and start up the second mission. Hopefully we can get both of these knocked out in one go and not have to worry about scaling the cliff on the way back. I'm going to go ahead and stick my warm tea into my inventory here. And let's head on over to the Arctic and get to work slowly lowering ourselves over that sheer ice cliff. So here we are in the Arctic area, slowly making our way over to the sort of cliff area. You can see it's already getting a little steep and rocky. You're going to have to build ramps if you're going to want to come back in this direction. So definitely bring a bunch of ramps if you start in the desert. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend starting in the desert if it's your first time playing on Styx because of these tunnel missions. Most of the map is closed off to you until you complete these tunnel missions, so it's going to be a lot more convenient for you if you start off in the center grasslands area with the rivers. That way you have access to those missions pretty much immediately. The thing about these missions is you can only access the tunnel from the opposite side, which is why I have to make my way all the way around in order to do the tunnel mission as well as to complete this mission that we're currently doing here. So it's a lot of kind of inconvenience if you start in the desert, but you know, I love the desert. I wanted to get set up in the desert, so that's what we did. Let's make our way over to the cliff here. I'll show you guys what we're working with. Nice and careful. here is the cliff. Let's go ahead and get our ramps out and work on building ourselves a way down. And just like that, we had our staircase all the way down, safe and sound. You know, if we didn't have the option of completing this ricochet quest, we were going to have to make our way all the way back up that sheer cliff again. So, you know, definitely try and do things the easy way if you have that option. But with that taken care of, we have officially made it into the heart of the Arctic. Now we have to wrap our way to the left over here. So I'm just going to go ahead, hop on my MOA, and head on over in that direction. The Styx Arctic is a really, really nice zone. This is also a pretty viable start location. There's so many trees out in this area, so you're never going to have a lack of wood. There are mushrooms that you can get for food out here. Of course, if you start in the Arctic, you also have access to the grasslands. You're not sort of walled in this area, so it is a viable start location as well. And when you come to these little cracks, you can run over most of them. Just make sure you're sprinting if you're on the MOA. And keep an eye out for the ones that are a little too wide for you to actually make it through. Definitely be careful of those ice cracks. They can suck you in and give your MOA a huge amount of damage. There is the unstuck option, of course, if you fall down there and don't die. But, you know, if you or your MOA dies in the fall, you know, there's no unstucking death. And just like that, we officially have made it out of the Arctic and into the grassy plains here. This is actually the area where I think you start the mission if you're playing in mission mode. Just right here up on this rocky ledge over here. So let's head on over in that direction and get this mission taken care of. Let's go ahead and make our way over to the northern Komodo dragon area first. The thing about Styx, starting in the grasslands, especially if you have a MOA, is that you're going to be running through the rivers constantly, so you're not going to be able to move at maximum speed. You're going to constantly be walking really slowly through shallow water, trying to figure out how to get your MOA through there. So it isn't the most optimal place to have a mount or a MOA in these little grasslands areas, but you know, it is navigatable. We're just going to slowly make our way along this cliffside and deal with the rivers as they come. So here you can see what I was saying about all the rivers. Fortunately, we don't have to cross any currently, but as you can see, they kind of have that little canyon-like edge to them, so there's no real walking through them. You're going to have to either unstuck or build a little bridge over them. They can definitely be a little annoying. Yeah, if you were walking on foot, this would take quite a bit of time, so it is a lot quicker having a MOA, or, you know, another mount that's relatively quick, like a Tyrannus with the speed boosts. So definitely would recommend doing this in open world if you can. There are some inconveniences to it, but again, if you start in the grasslands, you know, this mission and the subsequent missions really aren't that inconvenient. But having started in the desert, you know, we are picking the hard mode on top of normal hard mode here. Alright, so we're approaching the first area here. I'm going to make sure I have my inventory set to tab, and then I'm going to rush in there and get the beacon down as quickly as I can. Alright, so we have to kill 15 Komodos here. I am going to park my MOA somewhere a little bit more safe. Alright, there we go. Alright, so if one of those pillars gets broken, the other one will be able to support it. So hopefully we don't run into any issues there. But let's go ahead and kill ourselves 15 Komodos. We are very familiar with how to kill these guys. We're getting a little bit of a lag spike here. Also, you really don't want to get bitten by a Komodo. They give a really nasty debuff that decreases your food buff duration significantly. So definitely do all that you can to avoid Getting bitten by Komodo here. Alright.
You tried to pet one of those once. Didn't take kindly to the attention.
There is the 15.
Out of the way. Time to mark the spot.
Alright, and since there's so many Komodos, what you can actually do here is reset the game and all of them will despawn. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It's really lagging my game having so many out here. So I'm just going to do a quick reset here. Return to character screen. And when you load back in, you'll see all of them are gone. So let's go ahead, head on over to the marker area here. Deploy our beacon. And we are done with the first option. So I think if I pick up the beacon, yeah, we can pick up the beacons and it'll remain complete. I don't want to have a permanent beacon out here, so I'm going to be picking those up as we complete these objectives. Let's go ahead and get our MOA back here and head on over to the other locations. Alright, so now we have to head south all the way along the river. It's going to take quite a bit of time. Let's go ahead and eat a trail snack here and get on our way. You can see the traveling in this game across this gigantic map. Styx is just huge. The traveling takes quite a bit of time, so you know it's already almost 1 o'clock in game. We started at 7 a.m., so just running across the massive map takes a huge amount of time. We're going to be well into the night, maybe well into the next day by the time we finish these 2 quests that we're after. Alright, here we are at the next location. So it is actually on that little island, and if I remember correctly, we actually have to kill a crocodile on that island. So I'm gonna circle back around this way, try and get a better position to get onto that island. Alright, so we have made it to the next location. I believe for this one, it actually spawns like a boss alligator that we have to defeat. So again, I'm going to make a safe little perch for our MOA. I'm actually going to build on top of this rock here. Alright, we have our MOA safe and sound up there. Let's head over to this island and take care of this big crocodile. Yeah, there he is, snapping jaw. Classic cheese action here. Of course, we have another croc coming in, but we got the big boy taken care of. You try and hit the underside of the crocodile to get the critical. It's pretty hard to do with like a knife. There we go. Alright. Now we deploy the beacon. And we're done with location 2.
Let's move on before more crocs show up.
Alright, very nice. Smooth and easy. Let's head back to our MOA. Hopefully no trouble has visited him. Now, if I remember correctly, the final location is in the Arctic biome, and you need to kill a boss polar bear out in the Arctic biome, so definitely not an easy one. We're going to have to make sure our MOA is nice and safe for that quest. Alright, here we are heading into the northern Arctic area, or I guess the western Arctic area. Not quite north. Let's go ahead, stick our heads in there, make sure we get our warm tea in our drink slot, and let's head on in. Looks like we're in the middle of a snowstorm immediately. Very bad timing. That is super unfortunate. There's also a polar bear, just a normal polar bear right there, so let's take this opportunity to head back. We're going to wait out that storm. And unfortunately, we are a little bit against the clock. I don't want to be doing this next mission too late into the night if we can avoid it. But sometimes, you know, ICARUS requires a little patience. I do not want to risk fighting the boss polar bear inside of this storm here. So, let's go ahead, take a little bit of a breather here. This is going to be dangerous because there is that normal polar bear kind of just waiting right next to the entrance. We're going to have to sprint past him, make it to a safe location to perch our MOA, and then head over. Speaking of our MOA, he is getting a little thirsty. I'm going to go ahead and give him some of our water here. I did bring a water skin, so I could just give him normal water, but I think it's a little far from where we are right now, so I'm just going to give him a little bit of this. Let him enjoy the nice filtered water. That polar bear is lurking. I think it's time for us to head on in there. We should be able to outrun him, no problem. And yes, the storm is mostly done. Let's go ahead, come on in here, and scope out an area to park our MOA while we do this mission. I'm just going to go ahead and park him up maybe on this side of the cliff here. I'm going to leave our MOA parked right there. He should be more than safe in that corner. I don't think any animals should be able to get up there. There is a normal polar bear right there. We don't need to fight that guy. We're looking for the boss polar bear. I see him sprinting right over there right now. That is our target. I think what my plan is going to be is I am going to try and snipe him off of the top of a rock. Like most animals, we have a giant scorpion and a giant mammoth there as well. But let's go ahead, scope out this area, see if there are any good rocks for us to potentially use. I have my healing potions ready to go should things go awry. I have my extra cool buff here. Let's go ahead and pop this while I think of it. This will keep us extra warm in the middle of this fight here. This is the boss polar bear that we're going to have to take out. So it looks like those rocks over there are just out of his aggro range.
I can see why this place got shut down after all.
This is going to be pretty tough.
Get rid of that thing.
We could always go for like a pillar strategy here. Maybe I pull out a few of these pillars just as like a backup option. Alright, and let's see what we can do here. Alright, with that electric stun right there, that was able to give us the last few headshots that we needed. Not too bad with the Matador strategy, not too bad at all. Let's get these bones, might as well, and then make sure we place down our beacon. There we go. Mission complete.
Excellent work, Prospector.
Excellent, let's get out of here. Unfortunately, with our double buff here, we don't have to worry about the cold right now. Let's head on back to our MOA, get out of this Arctic zone, and then let's look into starting up the next mission for ourselves here. And there we go, safe and sound, no trouble whatsoever. Let's get out of here. Alright, we are officially out of the Arctic tundra, back in the nice warm grasslands. Let's get our normal water bottle in our inventory here, and let's look for a safe spot to plop down for a second and get our next mission going here. So here it is. We completed the expedition, so now we can do Ricochet Expedition.
Just came down from on high. We're pushing through to redacted. Well, data on my personal map marks it as Dusty Barrens. Sounds delightful. Legos want someone to trek through to the site and scan the surrounding area. This is new terrain, but you're not the first someone to attempt this. You may be the first someone to survive it. Think that someone might be you?
I think so. Let's begin this operation here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my device back here now that we started the mission. So we had a game crash. It just rolled us back a little bit. Let me go ahead and grab that radar, and hopefully nothing too crazy happens here. There we go.
For something nice for once. Kind of. An oasis. Lagos wants a scan that covers this desert terror zone.
So now we need to head over to the cave connecting into the oasis, and it will tell us to use the drill to break through that cave. And in order to actually use the drill, you need a biofuel can. So that's the part of the mission that usually takes the longest, is you have to craft yourself up to tier 3, get a biofuel composter. We did bring the can with us, so hopefully we don't actually have to craft it during the mission in order to complete the objective. We can just use one that we brought with us. I'm going to go ahead and see if that's possible. If not, worst case scenario, we spend another 30 minutes inside of a cave building up to a machining bench. But yeah, that is the game plan for now. Like I was saying, this mission can only be accessed from this side of the cave. So if you start in the desert, you have to actually go all the way around out into the grasslands before you can even start this quest. The night sky here on Styx is looking absolutely beautiful. I love that skybox. Super, super nice. Let's get a nice view of it in the dark here. The stars, the planets. Really, really love the visuals of this game. Can't get enough of it. Alright, we are approaching the mission location here. I'm going to go ahead and activate the next stage by getting near to the cave.
Okay, I'm being told UDA has you sorted. Target coordinates for gear pickup are added to your map.
Alright. Then we need to grab the drill. Alright, here is the drill right here. Very nice.
Nice. A drill like this will get through almost anything. You're gonna need to fuel it, though.
Alright, perfect. So we can use our pre-crafted biofuel. Absolutely awesome. This will be a simple, quick little mission for us to take care of. At least the first part of it, getting through the cave. And that will give us access to our base and to this side of the map. We can take a little bit of a break back at our base once we drill through the cave. Because this mission does have quite a bit of extra stuff that you need to do after drilling through the cave. You have to scan 3 locations in the oasis. So let's just go ahead, take care of the first part of this mission, and get on back to our base. Alright, so for this part of the mission, a ton of sandworms are going to spawn. So I want to make sure my Moa is out of their aggro range, nice and safe. I'm going to park him maybe over here. Alright, it looks like he'll be good right there. Let's go ahead, get the drill set up here. So the thing about this drill is you're going to have to use it twice, once here and then once on the inside part of the cave. So you have to be sure to pick it up. It does drop in like a strange little pouch. Usually in the other drill missions you see like a big giant drill on the ground for you to pick up. It actually drops in a little item pouch, so you have to be careful about that. I'm going to go ahead and consume one of my poison potions here, and let's get this thing going. This is a very, very slow drill. You're going to be killing a ton of worms here. And as soon as it completes, definitely keep an eye on it, because the little pouch with the drill inside of it is going to go flying. So you're going to have a ton of little eggs on the ground blocking your view. So definitely be careful. Keep an eye on the progress and keep an eye on the drill's flight path. The first time I did this mission, I lost the drill. It got lost in a big pile of items. I thought it despawned, so I just reloaded an earlier save and tried it again, and then realized it was actually just dropping in a little tiny pouch on the ground. Like I said, a nice, quick, simple little mission, but this drill takes so long, and you have to do it twice. So, it's definitely a simple mission in terms of difficulty, but very, very time consuming because you have to do the drill twice and then you have to do 3 radar scans on top of all that. Okay, almost there. Keep an eye on the drill. Oh, there it is. Okay, so as you can see, it wasn't exactly clear where it flew, but there's the drill. Let's get all of this. Go get our MOA and head into the next part of this mission. Yeah, so you can see, I mean, you can see in this cave without the lantern, but it's going to be a lot simpler with. But I'm going to go ahead, park my MOA just right over here where you should be totally safe from the ensuing battle. And let's go ahead and take care of the second drill. Let's go ahead and get started. We got a big one right here. You have 78 of those arrows left. Oh, he dropped a tiny little Why is it so small? Yeah, they drop these little tiny eggs. Not sure why. There we go. Last couple worms here. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab up as many of these arrows as we can find. I would also like to grab some of this stuff, like the vestiges. Let's just try and get as many of our arrows back as we can here. We used a ton of them. Alright, and that is that. We officially have access to this tunnel now. I guess technically as soon as we complete the mission, we'll have permanent access to it, but for the time being, you know, we are able to head on back. Oh, there it is. All the way over here. Let's go ahead and just grab both of those things. I don't know if we'll ever need the drill ever again, but we definitely wanted that jerry can back. And with that taken care of, we officially have access to the grasslands from the desert. The K13 tunnel is now open. Absolutely awesome. Let's head back to our base just in time for sunrise and resupply, get a little rest.
This place would be beautiful if it wasn't so deadly. We were so damn close. Suppose this is more fun, though.
And we are officially back home. As you can see on the map, you know, there's 3 spots we're gonna have to scan. 1 pretty close to our base, and then 2 kind of out a little bit further away. But yeah, should be a quick and simple mission to take care of right next door to our base. Here we are, home sweet home. A little sandstorm damaged, as you can tell, but not too much worse for the wear. Make sure Tutu gets a nice meal here. He's got plenty of food in there. And let's do a little bit of repairing because I'm sure some of this wood structure is going to need some repairs. Go ahead and get our contact device back down outside. Thank you for your hard work. It made things much, much simpler and more convenient being able to do both of those missions at the same time. You know, it is a huge pain having to ramp all the way down through this side, but you know, you're not completely locked into the desert. You do have this option to head out into the rest of Styx. Alright, and before we do anything else really major here, let's just go ahead and refuel our biofuels. I'm sure those things are a little thirsty at this point. And sure enough, they are empty. Let's go ahead and get these babies refueled. And with those few simple chores taken care of, let's go ahead and finish up the rest of this mission Get this whole thing knocked out. I'm going to deposit these ores, get them smelting up, and then let's head on over to our objectives. So these first couple objectives are basically just waves of enemies that we have to kill while the scanner is active. So I'm going to leave the MOA, I'm going to leave 2-2 here at the base, and let's just go ahead and take care of this the old-fashioned way by hand. I think we should have enough arrows. We have 51 left. You know, we might be cutting it a little close. There's going to be a lot of enemies. Alright, so we can kind of perch up on this rock right here and use that as a way to snipe. Let's go ahead and get this activated and get on top of the rock here. We have to protect the scanner from incoming, mainly cougars, I believe. This one is cougars. The next one is just sort of like a platforming puzzle. You have to climb up to the top of a rock and are basically able to do that one for free. And then the last one is crocodiles and komodos. So the last one is definitely the most difficult to take care of. It looks like maybe there are komodos or crocodiles coming in for this one as well. I thought it was just cougars, but it looks like we have a crocodile coming in. Hopefully he remains stuck. Oh, it looks like he's making his way around. Ouch. There we go, got a good crit there. There we go. Oh, okay. We have to heal that ASAP. The new update, you get infections pretty much instantly.
Radar needs supervision.
Okay, he's attacking the radar. There he goes. We're at 52%. Yeah, so I do remember this quest being cougars, but it seems like we're getting only crocodiles now. Maybe it's a random chance for what type of animal comes. Okay, that's not good. It's already at half health. This crocodile is not leaving the thing alone. It's just spamming it right now. Okay. There we go. That was a lot of damage very quickly. Okay, we got it taken care of. We don't need to worry about the radar any longer, at least. I would like to carve up some of these animals. But fortunately, we got a ton of meat, a ton of bones. We're going to be able to make a good amount of epoxies out of all this bone. Alright, and that is every corpse. Very nice. We have a ton of meat, leather, bones, way more than we're going to need. But let's go ahead and head on back to our base. It looks like those might be animals from the quest that just got stuck. Let's head back to the base, ignore that for now, and work on our next target. Make a ton of animal fat out of all that meat. Very cool. Let's go ahead and I would like to cook the bacon into crispy bacon. I don't have a stove quite yet. That's 260 bone powder. Very nice. Let's go ahead and grab these crafting or these building materials. We're going to need to build a ramp up to this. This is kind of on top of a little rock, so you need to build a little platforming ramp all the way up to it. Do that scan, and then this one, the last time I did it, it spawned a bunch of komodos and crocodiles, but the last time I did this one, it spawned only cougars, so who knows what we're actually going to get this time. So I came in just to check on our silica mining, so we have a pretty decent amount. The new speed buff to mining is definitely evident. We are just raking in the silica. We already have almost 500, and then, you know, almost 250-ish, 230 titanium to our names here. So we are just raking in the titanium and the silica from our electric drills. We're definitely going to want to craft up a few more of those, get some more solar panels going as well. But yeah, once we get this mission taken care of, you know, I want to work on getting into that fishing quest. So we're going to need to craft up the encrypted satellite. But one of the really cool things about Styx and that fishing quest in particular, like I mentioned, is that we don't have to worry about electricity for our deep freezes at all on this map. So let's go ahead, get to work smelting up this titanium. We'll just store the silica in here for now, and get to work finishing up this quest while this works for us in the background. So I also got the materials that we need for the electric stove, so let's get that crafted up. We're also starting to run out of space inside the base here, but for the time being, this is going to have to do. And with that taken care of, we can finally get ourselves crispy bacon instead of the normal bacon. Let's go ahead and get that crafting up. That's going to be a nice extra little boost for us here. And with those chores taken care of and a fresh new morning ahead of us, I decided to set out to take care of the rest of this quest. First thing was to head all the way over to the southeastern sort of side of the desert over there. And what we will be doing is climbing up to the top of the rock and getting the scan completed over there. This one is a pretty simple scan to do, as long as the giant sandworm is not over there. So hopefully there is no sandworm. I'm going to go ahead and ramp my way to the top of this rock.
Up there. You'll need to build something for that.
Yes, we will. There we go, perfect.
That's it. Systems online.
Alright, this one is totally free. I can't really see the progress, it's behind my buffs, but yeah, this one should be pretty quick and easy. Just sit up on top of this rock, enjoy the view, and get the scan taken care of. And there we go. That easy. Let's go ahead and collect our radar again. And we are officially done with this scan as well. Only one more to go, the Upper Falls region.
This is the zone. It's around here somewhere.
Alright. So here is the final scan. Not really many safe places to put our Moa, unfortunately. I think I'm just going to build a simple little platform for him. And he should be relatively safe there. Worst case scenario, you know, we're going to have to take a little bit of fall damage if they break one of those pillars. But I think most of the animals should come from over in this direction, if I remember correctly. Maybe a few from over in that direction. But for the most part, we should be good to go here. Go ahead and place my radar down. There is a scorpion that's kind of aggro over here. Let's just take care of him before he becomes a problem. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is build a simple little sort of wall around this thing. There we go.
There you go.
We're just gonna have to repair these walls. Yeah, maybe it'll take a little bit of damage, but I think for the most part, we should be safe up here. Alright, here we go. We got Komodos coming in. These are not much of a problem.
Prospector, need you to get back to the radar.
We got a couple alligators coming in.
That radar. You'll need to...
Oh, okay, so the Komodo bit us from his tail, apparently. That's really not great. I hate that debuff. It lasts 25 minutes. Oh, and the crocodile is still going for a Moa. Yeah, that 25-minute debuff, and it decreases our food buff duration by like 70% or something. I don't remember exactly, but it's pretty nasty. Let's see, 80% food effect duration for 25 minutes. That is very rough. And there we go. That should be everything. Let's go ahead and carve up some of these animals, get a little bit of their bones and meat. Oh, we got a storm coming in. I'm going to go ahead and bring our Moa down and grab our radar. And there we go. Mission complete. Got some aggressive animals coming in here. Oh my gosh. Move. Okay. Alright. It's kind of a waste to leave all of this meat and bones here, but we're going to get lost once the red part of the storm comes through. It's very, very hard to see out here in the middle of a sandstorm, so we're going to cut our losses and just head on back while we can. Yeah, we got the victory. We got the victory, so that's all that really matters. Let's head on back while the sand is still a little bit calm. Well, we can still see a little bit in front of us, and hopefully make it there before the red part of the storm. If we follow the river, we can make it at least to the waterfalls without getting lost. But yeah, you really can't see anything in these sandstorms. They are brutal. So we got a scorpion coming at us. Alright, we found the base. We made it back in the sandstorm. Let's get our Moa inside. And let's get ourselves inside as well. We gotta take care of this scorpion, however. Absolutely brutal. Can't see a thing. Let us get inside. Close the doors, batten the hatches, and get ready for some repairs. Let's also turn off the fire so we're not overheating. All of our food buffs are gone because of the Komodo's debuff. Make sure we reapply those. Let's go ahead and heal that. Alright, perfect. So we got rid of the Komodo buff. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my water wheels here. I don't have a way of putting out these fires presently. So we're just gonna cut the fire off here. And we'll re-put those down once the fire is gone, but that lightning strike was very close. It was a good thing I spotted those damage numbers. That could have been bad if they got to our water wheels. But that is just another reason that we're going to need to upgrade our base, because we don't want to have things burning down. But yeah, the storms out here in the desert are no joke. Heavy sandstorm. Very difficult to see. Very difficult to deal with. But that's why we prioritized the silica, because we want to get to concrete as quick as possible here. So we are just raking in the silica thanks to that electric drill over there. We should be able to upgrade to concrete soon enough. I'm going to go ahead and replace this bridge, get our water wheels back down there, and come up with a game plan from there. So we completed that mission. That is excellent. The next thing that we're going to need, now that that mission is complete, Ricochet Expedition, is we're going to want to do the fishing mission. I think it might be this one. But yeah, we're going to need the encrypted satellite as our next project here. And as you can see, the encrypted satellite is an absolute beast. 20 titanium plates, 150 sheaths, 30 composites. This thing is obscenely expensive. Gotta love getting a free one of these in Prometheus, but when you have to craft it yourself, it is a pain. So let's get to work. We should have enough resources for this, I believe, but let's get to work crafting that up. Alright, there we go. Good as new. And this is as good a time as any to actually change the orientation of my water wheels. Some people were complaining about how they were placed perpendicular to the water. Alright, and there we go. They look natural. Spinning in the correct direction, facing the right way. Hopefully you guys are pleased with that change. The other thing we're kind of running low on right now is aluminum. I think I might move one of my biofuel drills over to an aluminum node that's right over by where we have our titanium going. Oh, and sometimes you might see this pop up. I'm not sure when this happened. Maybe when I switched to the crafting character at one point, but this is the battle arena for the giant scorpion boss. So if we want to fight the giant scorpion, it is here right now. I'm definitely not going to do it as I'm equipped currently. You definitely want shotguns, you want some heavy-duty machinery to take care of that guy. But if you see a gigantic rock formation appear out of nowhere, that means the scorpion is here. And here is that aluminum deposit right here, super close. Get that deployed and running. Right next to where we have our titanium setup. Super convenient. Alright, and here we go. Everything ready to go. An insane amount of resources. But let's go ahead, and in 1 minute we will have this encrypted satellite up and running, and we'll be ready to take on every single mission available to us here on Styx. Oh, and speaking of bosses, that is the sandworm moving from one location to another. You'll see that pop up every once in a while. One of the times I started in the desert, I actually built my base above that waterfall over there. And the sandworm has a set path that it moves through, and every time it moved across the map, it would go through my base and destroy the walls and floor and everything. So definitely don't build your base in the sandworm's path. That is a constant hazard that will destroy your base, every hour or so whenever it passes through there. So be careful of that. And there we go, encrypted satellite upgrade, ready to go here. Let's go ahead and slap that on our amazing device here. I'm going to go ahead and move this up to the roof, actually. And when you have the encrypted satellite, you need to have it on your roof. It just looks so much cooler. There we go. Now, with that taken care of, let's check out our missions here. So here it is, Oasis Angler. This is a major priority on Styx. Another reason why I would recommend at least starting your mission journey in the Oasis area, because when you do this mission, you get the free infinite deep freeze. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what that's all about.
This one's for Sinitai. They want it done quick and clean.
So we are going to need to craft up a few things that we don't have. A fishing bench, I believe, like a drying rack, a bunch of random like early tier items to cook some basic fish recipes. But let's go ahead, head over to that location just so we can see what it is exactly that we have to craft, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But I definitely remember we need like a smoker, I think, or a potbelly stove, a drying rack, a fishing bench, just a bunch of random little crafting benches and cooking benches to get the mission actually started. And what you can do is, once you have that little fishing shack constructed over on this island here, you can leave it there and then continuously reset this mission over and over again. There is a mini boss that you have to defeat after you set up this little area here. Yeah, cooking station, potbelly stove, fishing bench, drying rack. Okay. So once you have that fishing hut set up, you can just leave it right there on that island and continuously redo the first part of this mission over and over, and get yourself the deep freeze crate. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. It's also possible just to sneak past the mini-boss. You don't actually have to defeat it. It's totally up to you. It's basically just like a giant scorpion. Not as giant as the boss scorpion, but a pretty decently sized big scorpion. So it is a dangerous mini-boss. You can try sneaking past it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these little benches crafted up. Let's actually turn in for the day. We got so much done today. I think it's time we took a well-deserved rest, and first thing in the morning we'll get to work on getting ourselves the ultimate deep freeze box. All right. Good morning, everybody. So I set up my really basic little fishing shack here, and completing that first objective summons down the support equipment. So we'll see, we have to kill the insatiable blood claw, that's optional, and then collect the fishing supplies. And in that fishing supplies box there are a bunch of lures, a bunch of fishing traps, as well as the much coveted and much desired crate. I forget the exact name of it, but let's go over there. What I think I'm going to try and do is sneak past the blood claw and just grab the fishing supplies. So let's head on over there and see if we can't get that done. All right. Insatiable blood claw still over there. We got all of our loot here. And so what you do now is you just simply abandon the quest. And if we start the quest again, we should instantly complete the first objective, and it will summon down another drop pod with all of this beautiful loot. Let me get a little bit further away from that boss enemy, and I'll show you guys what exactly we got. Alright, we are back at the base. Looking great here. Let me show you guys. So a bunch of gold lures, 2 of these advanced fishing traps, a free refined rod, and then here it is, the MXC preservation crate. This is a deep freeze that requires 0 electricity. It has a larger inventory than any deep freeze does, even with the expanded inventory attachment. Let's just set it down right here, and I'll show you guys. Look at how massive the inventory is in here, and if you stick your food in there, will not spoil, infinite spoil time, no electricity required. This is an incredible item, super OP, and you can get as many of them as you want as long as you continuously abandon the quest, which we will do right now. Let's go ahead and abandon it, and then in 10 minutes we will be able to do that again and get another one of those crates. So that is going to be my mission right now. I'm just going to continuously spam the quest here. There goes the drop pod. I'm just going to spam this. I want to get maybe like 5 of those crates, so it's going to take, 50 minutes to do that 5 times, but it's 100% going to be worth it. This item is absolutely incredible. Super amazing. Definitely start off in the Oasis. Make this quest a priority because that item is insanely powerful. And what I think I'm going to do while we wait on these quest timers is I'm going to start just mining up an insane amount of stone, every stone I can find, as well as just an insane amount of sulfur. Those are going to be my 2 objectives right now. We could also go and get all of the iron out of the caves that we left behind, so we can start getting all of the concrete and steel that we're going to need to upgrade our base into concrete building materials. So as we wait for our quest timers to get these beautiful MXC crates, let's go ahead and make use of that time, get a bunch of material farming out of the way. We're going to need an insane amount of concrete mix, an insane amount of steel rebars. Let's get to work. And with that in mind, what I think I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get the basic attack speed attached to a titanium pickaxe. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a titanium pick, craft it up, get that attack speed on there. And while we're doing that, I'm going to get another electric deep drill crafted up. I'm conflicted on what I want to put this on right now. I think what I'm going to do is put this on sulfur, actually. I just want a huge amount of sulfur just to craft an insane amount of epoxies constantly. We are just always running out of epoxies. Man, do I miss the miasmic pickaxe and the miasmic axe. That thing was amazing. But yeah, on this map, you're going to be needing a ton of epoxies, and right now, sulfur rocks are kind of sparse. I did a lot of sulfur mining already, so as we are running around getting all of our stone and all of our, whatever we can find, I'm going to get a drill down on sulfur. And it's actually been 10 minutes already, so let's go ahead, click on Angler here.
This one's for Scimitar.
Alright, there we go. And then, yes, the first objective instantly completed. Super quick and easy. Let's go get ourselves another MXC crate. There we go. We got our new box. Alright, here is our sulfur drill right here. Kind of took the long way around to get to here, but let's go ahead and hook her up. Alright, and there we go. 3 electric deep drills running. That sulfur is going to be super useful to us. We are going to need an insane amount of sulfur for all of the epoxies that we're going to be constantly needing to craft. So definitely glad to have this going. We have silica, sulfur, and titanium going for us. There is actually stone deep drilling now as well. I don't know. Oh, it does show stone. Okay, so I do know that there was a stone somewhere. I don't remember exactly where I found it. But we could also potentially get one of our deep drills going on stone. And that way we can constantly have silica and stone going for us, and that will allow us to have a consistent supply of concrete whenever we need it. So that could be an interesting option as well here. So let's go ahead and craft up our first titanium pickaxe here. Absolutely beautiful. We're also going to craft up the advanced alterations bench and get the tier 2 alterations going for ourselves here as well. We are running out of space. As usual, whenever I start up a new starter base, I always cram the thing completely full to the brim, but you know, we are working on getting ourselves into concrete, so as soon as we have all of those materials ready to go, we are going to be getting all of the concrete pieces that we can need. For now, let's go ahead and get ourselves the new attachments ready to go. There we go, 20% attack speed. Very nice. And yeah, time to get to clicking. Love how fast that is with the new attachment. Gonna make mining these rocks much easier. And with the ion backpack, we do have a 1% chance of instantly breaking any one of these rocks every time we click it. So hopefully we get some of that going for us. Oh, and there we go. That was an instant click right there. You love to see it. Yeah, we're going to have to hit up the connecting tunnels, get a ton of iron as well to start working on all of the steel rebars that we're going to need. Alright, there's a full inventory. Let's get this back to the base. So as we're doing these runs, I'm also starting to think that maybe I swap out of the ion backpack into the backpack that gives us more inventory slots. We're not really mining copper, gold, and platinum right now, so I think just having more inventory is going to be a little bit more beneficial to us. And after that run, it does look like we are ready for another Oasis Angler here. And just like that, we have ourselves 3 of the MXC crates, a ton of these traps. We are raking them in. I think I do want to go for 5 of these. That should be more than enough. And I'm going to get a ton of concrete mixing up here as well. And let's actually head over to the connecting tunnel and get some iron that we could turn into steel rebars here. Yeah, we are going to need a ton of steel. Way more than what we have, so let's go ahead and just get a massive amount of iron. And what I'm going to actually do now is let's go ahead and buy extra inventory backpack here. This is 12 inventory slots. Let's go ahead and craft up the tactical here. This will be 12 inventory slots, 6 more than what we have, and bring this on down. There we go. Let's go ahead and head over to the tunnel in K13, actually. I think I mined a ton of the iron in this cave already. There's probably a good amount remaining, but and I just want to check out the new cave and strip that thing bare. This cave is a bit farther away, but it's going to be completely jam-packed full of a ton of resources, so I'm going to get just as much iron as I can possibly carry right now, as well as maybe a little bit of coal. Alright, that is everything we can carry for the time being. huge amount of iron, super awesome. And there's still a lot left in this tunnel. We only did the very beginning of it, so this is going to be a tunnel ripe for the picking for us. We can craft up a full 100 steel blooms here, and we still have quite a bit of iron. Let's go ahead and craft up maybe 200 steel blooms for the time being. Hopefully that'll be enough to get us our starter base going here. And it is time again for our angler quest.
They want it done.
There we go. There's our fourth. Ton of these fishing traps, 4 of these crates. I was planning on getting 5 of them. Things are going pretty quickly though. I mean, as long as we're just grinding, we might as well just leave this mission on the back burner and keep grabbing those chests, because you really can't have too many of them. These things are amazing. And with that taken care of, it's back to clicking on rocks. This time I'm going to get some oxide as well as stone and sulfur. It's times like these that I'm really missing the miasmic tools. You know, hopefully someday they allow you to purchase obsidian and maybe a workshop item that lets you get miasmic coatings on any planet. That would allow you to get the miasmic tools pretty much anywhere, not just on Prometheus. But, you know, for the time being, we're stuck clicking away the old school way. You know, as I'm mining thousands of stone here, I'm starting to think, you know, maybe we do try setting up another deep drill for stone specifically. That would make our lives so much easier. So I think maybe we craft up another solar panel to make sure we have enough power here. We're gonna have to look into getting some large batteries as well as we work late into the night. But yeah, let's get this next run taken care of, and then when we get back to the base, look into maybe getting another deep drill for a stone node, and go out on a little bit of an adventure looking for one of those things. And with that most recent run taken care of, let's go ahead and get ourselves another MXC crate here. We are just running laps around the map, mining MXC crates, just repeating that over and over. It is a grind out here, but that is the name of the game. Absolutely gorgeous this time of day out in the desert. Got a little bit of a problem here. We should be able to outrun him. We got our spear, we got our movement buff skills. Should be able to make it back to the base without issue here, hopefully. There we go, just like that. We got 5 of the crates. I think maybe we just keep on going, because we are nowhere near close to where we need to be as far as our resources go. We still got a lot of grinding to go. Let's just leave that quest for the time being and think about actually completing it another day. Yeah, we can go ahead and grab more of those crates whenever we want. That mission is available to us. But I think for now, we're good with 5 of them. And we'll actually figure out what we're going to do as far as completing that fishing quest another time. It's going to take a long time to get all of those fish caught, crafted up into all the different food items that you need to actually complete it. But for the time being, let's go ahead and check on all of our deep drills. I'm actually also going to craft up another drill. We're going to need some aluminum, electronics, titanium. But before we do that, let's see if we can't find a stone node. Because the more I am doing the rock clicking out here, the more I'm realizing I want to find a stone node. And wow, wait, oh, it looked like there was a stone node, but it just disappeared. Let's go ahead, run around, and see if we can't find ourselves a stone node. Is it underneath the boss arena? It looks like the stone node is underneath the boss arena, so if the boss arena spawns, I'm not sure if that would destroy our drill or what the deal is with that. Let's see if we can't find ourselves another one. Oh, here it is, outside of the cave, stone deposit, right next to where we have our water borer practically. Super easy. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a deep vein going for stone. So we have silica and stone going for ourselves. We will have an infinite supply of cement as long as we can keep the tree sap going. Let's go ahead, make one more drill here and get this set up on stone. But I do think we are going to need another solar panel before we get another drill going. Alright, there is everything. Let's get ourselves another solar panel crafted up here. And get this bad boy up on the roof with the other two. 18,000 power from the solar panels. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get ourselves that brand new drill for the stone. Let's go ahead and get this deployed and then hooked up to the electricity. There we go. 4 deep drills working for us. Our power demand right now is 13,000, and that is with our electric furnace running as well right now at 2,500. So we should be good on the power. And yeah, as this heat wave passes us by here, let's go ahead, reflect on everything that we achieved today. We got a ton of work done. A lot of farming, basically, just an insane amount of farming. We got those 2 missions completed. We got the tunnel out into the grasslands unlocked. A lot of exploration, a lot of grinding. I'm feeling really great about all of the progress that we made today. And with that said, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. We got an insane amount of work done today. 2 missions. We unlocked the tunnel leading into the grasslands. We got all of these amazing MXC crates, the battery-powered, electricity-free, giant storage, deep freezes. These are amazing items. 100% recommend rushing that mission if it's available to you in your Styx playthrough. We got our relay tower upgraded into the satellite version, a ton of grinding done, a ton of cement, a ton of steel. We are ready to start upgrading into a concrete base out here. I'm feeling really great about the progress we made today and all of the work we got done, but of course there is still so much work left to be done, so many missions to complete, so many upgrades to the base still yet to be done. I hope you guys are looking forward to the future of this series, because I know I sure am. I am having a blast playing through Styx again, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, before we go today, I have to say thank you to all the amazing channel members. Thank you, as always, to Silo, Leticia Magaluez, Newly, Hein Groenwald, James Dodson, Batter Attid, Jagged Power, Leo, Sylvan Dryad, Brutus, Richard Davidson, Vivid Epiphany, Dorset Viking, Cataline Muntianu, Johnny 5, and Jason 84. Thank you to everybody for your continued support, and thank you to everybody for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.